Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I just wanted to outset express again my condolences and outrage, actually, in terms of what happened on Monday at Sea Systems Command. I have had a chance up close to deal with Admiral Hilardes and his predecessor, Admiral McCoy, and the great team that's over there. We talk a lot in this committee about protecting the industrial base. That's what they do every single day, and a lot of them don't wear uniforms. They're civilian employees who took a hit with sequester and furloughs already, and again, I just have the highest regard and admiration for all of them, and it was just incredible to see the events unfold on Monday. So please convey, I'm sure from the whole committee and myself, again, our thoughts and prayers are with that great group of individuals.
Yeah, I will do that, Congressman, and I know you're a good friend of NAVSEA. You go there often. These are our shipmates, and I appreciate that, and I'll pass it along.
Thank you. And again, I'm just pleased to hear that the IG's report is something that the Navy is going to incorporate. Frankly, and this is sort of just me speaking, coming from Connecticut, it's been 9 months since Sandy Hook. There are too many mentally ill people getting too easy access to weapons, and it's time for this Congress to pass a background check bill, which would help, frankly, all installations in terms of trying to make sure these incidents don't ever happen again. And hopefully people are going to respond in this Congress to something that is perfectly constitutional and obviously necessary. Admiral, in your testimony, again, I just want to say, as far as I'm concerned, you've been very explicit and specific in terms of what the impact of CR and sequestration has been and will be. We had 85 shipyard workers on Monday who received layoff notices because of the cancellation of the Miami repairs. And again, I think we spent a lot of time talking about shipbuilding and platforms, but the fact is the repair and maintenance end of your department is obviously another critical piece to the industrial base. Your testimony indicated that you're going to be canceling 34 of 54 planned maintenance availabilities. Can you describe what that means in terms of, again, protecting critical skills, particularly in some of the private shipyards?
Well, if I were to quantify it, Congressman, it's about 8,000 jobs. That's our best estimate. And our big areas are the Hampton Roads area and the San Diego area. That's where the big shipyards are. But it's up and down the coast, to your point earlier. And so those individuals, those presidents of those companies, they can't plan. So as I mentioned, I really want to be able to do a reprogramming or give me an appropriation bill, and we can preclude many of those 34. A half would be my plan. If I get that $1 billion I was mentioning in my oral statement, we could preclude at least half. We would then take to repair the ships that are going to deploy next year or the year after, or the ones that absolutely have to do a life upgrade because it's necessary. In other words, we have a priority in a scheme. Then we can converse with the shipyard, we can make plans, and we can recover. Subject to that, that's where I am, Congressman, and it's really about balance. Sequestration, the CR stops. It puts me at last year. No new starts. Sequestration takes everybody down. We go where the money is, and we got to operate forward, meet the commitments of today, number one.
And the repair and maintenance work is also, I think, a mechanism that you've employed to, again, protect critical skills. Again, so if there's, the 6 or 7 shipyards around the country, you can actually, again, protect welders, carpenters, machinists, et cetera, if there's maybe a downtick in one of the shipyards. And so losing that, I think, is really, again, going to hit muscle and bone. Is that right, in terms of our base?
Yes, sir, that's correct. You're referring to what we call the one shipyard concept, where we will move workers to another area of the country, and they will assist. And there's good cooperation between our public shipyards. Some of the private shipyards are adopting it as well.
Right. And in terms of the operational force, if sequester, CR minus sequester goes through, again, we had a 6-month delay on the Truman, a number of other deployments. Again, what do you see in 2014 and 15 if for the operational force?
What I see is we would be able to maintain one carrier on deployment and one in surge. And in the George Washington is in the forward deployed naval force, so she's in Japan. So at any given time, you have one carrier in the Western Pacific and one carrier in the Arabian Gulf, and one carrier strike group that can respond. The others are in waiting to get into maintenance because I just don't have the capacity to move them into maintenance, or they're in maintenance. Now, key and critical part are the air wings. So when carriers come back, instead of keeping them at a maintenance, a proficiency level able to respond, we'll let them gracefully decline, and they'll shut down, and then for a period of about 3 months, and then we'll take them what we call tactical hard deck. That's just a level of flying statistically determined to be safe. It's sort of like driving your car occasionally so that when the time comes, you could get in and practice and maybe become a delivery person or whatever, and that's when that's when these air wings would go into work up. So we would have on any given time 3 air wings at tactical hard deck, 2 shut down, and then 3 getting ready to deploy or on deployment. This is a situation we haven't been in before, and it's not our covenant with the combatant commanders.